In this video, we are going to talk about ICP, some of its recent price action, as well as the important support and resistance areas, and where we can expect the price of ICP to go in the coming days and weeks. So we'll start by looking at the weekly chart, and in the last few weeks, ICP has been performing very poorly, dumping from about $10 all the way down to about $3.50 right now. This dump came right after a very significant rally in the prior weeks, with ICP rallying from less than $3 all the way up to $10. We can also see that this rally topped exactly at this trend line. If we connect both of these previous highs, we can see that the last rally topped basically exactly where this trend line is. It got rejected off of it and then started dumping very quickly. And now we need to look at where the next support areas for ICP might be. One very clear support area is this area of about $3. This was the previous low from just a couple of months ago, and we've also visited this area a few times in the past in previous years. And another support area would be this trend line connecting the lows. As you can see, we have a very clear downtrending channel right here with both of these trend lines, and this next support area, if we do cross below the $3 area, then it will be this trend line, which currently sits at around $2.4 and will continue going down as the time goes on. A very important thing to note is that in the last couple of weeks, despite Bitcoin actually doing relatively well, getting a relief rally from about 80k to over 90k now, ICP actually continued dumping despite Bitcoin getting a small rally. This is very common with low market cap coins. We've seen this happen with many other coins as well, where despite Bitcoin starting to rally, a lot of small market cap altcoins don't immediately start rallying as well, but they actually just slow down their dump and lag behind Bitcoin and only potentially get a rally later. So I think that for ICP to actually start a significant rally, we would need to first see Bitcoin continuing its relief rally, heading to 100k and potentially even crossing it. But right now, with the weakness by ICP in the last few weeks, with the very strong rejection of this trend line after the rally that we had about a month ago, I think that most likely ICP will go back down to this previous low from October. We will sweep the low, test it, and see if we can get a rally from there and form a double bottom, or if we just continue dumping and then test this support area at the trend line. I think that it is more likely that we will actually see a bounce from this previous low and that we will potentially form a double bottom, because I am expecting Bitcoin to continue its relief rally and getting to over 100k sometime in the next couple of months. Of course, this is not guaranteed whatsoever, but it is my base case. I think that regardless of whether we have started the bear market already or not, Bitcoin will likely head above 100k sometime pretty soon. If the bear market did start, then it will likely just lead to Bitcoin getting a lower macro high. And if we are still in a bull market, which doesn't seem very certain at all at the moment, but if we are, then we would need to see Bitcoin rallying a lot in the next few months and approaching new all-time highs. But this is very far away right now. But regardless, I do think that Bitcoin will likely cross 100k again sometime pretty soon. And I think that once that does happen, then ICP has a much better chance of getting a bit of a rally. But until that happens, I think the most likely outcome is that ICP continues dropping at least to this previous low of about $3, even slightly below $3. Then we might have a chance at creating a double bottom, as I said. And if this double bottom comes together with a very large rally by Bitcoin, if Bitcoin actually starts recovering significantly and approaches new all-time highs again, then there is some serious potential for us to actually get an alt season, and that could lead ICP from this double bottom with an alt season. That could lead ICP to rallying by an insane amount and potentially getting all the way back up to the trend line again, or who knows, maybe even cross it and break this entire structure that we've been in since early 2024. But this is very speculative at the moment. I think that even if we do get a significant rally for ICP, it is a lot more likely that it will stop at around this trend line, but that could still be a very significant rally. This could be a rally of about 3x if we actually sweep the lows and then a rally all the way up here. So there are still definitely a lot of opportunities with ICP, but I personally think that it's still too early and I would not bet on ICP at the moment. Of course, this is not financial advice whatsoever, but I am expecting most altcoins to underperform Bitcoin and likely also Ethereum, at least in the next few weeks, at least until we see Bitcoin getting a much more significant rally and we see Ethereum approaching new all-time highs again. I think that only once we really see Bitcoin and Ethereum getting very significant rallies, getting close to the previous all-time highs, only then we could start really expect the altcoin market as a whole to outperform. But until then, I would personally stick to Bitcoin and Ethereum and not really go heavy into altcoins. Of course, again, this is not financial advice. That's just what I personally think. So yeah, guys, that's going to be the update on ICP for today. If you enjoyed it and you want more updates about ICP as well as other altcoins and the entire crypto market, make sure to subscribe. Thank you for watching and I will see you in the next one.